Parsha of this week's Parshas Vayero, continuation after Lech Lecha, the story, the journey of Avram Avinu's, let's call it, discovery of the deeper self. Lech Lecha, go to yourself. Go find yourself. Find a deeper aspect of who you are. And as we explained last week, that the first 75 years of his life was all about Avram Avinu doing the right thing according to his own understanding, according to his own nature, according to his own needs, so to say, spiritual needs, emotional needs of kindness. And God says, you have to develop within you the concept of servitude, that you don't do it because you feel it is important, but because you are commanded by God. So this journey is continuing. Now we are 24 years later. God reveals himself, says the Pasuk, Vayero Elav Hashem be'Elonim Mamre. And God appeared to him in the plains of Mamre. And he, Avram Avinu, was sitting at the entrance of the tent when the day was hot. What's the story? So this was the third day after Avram Avinu circumcised himself. And as we know in surgery, the third day is the most painful, the most difficult day. So God came to do a mitzvah, the mitzvah of Bikkur Cholim, visiting the sick. But where does God meet Avram Avinu? He's sitting at the entrance of his tent. Says Rashi, quoting the Medrash, what happened? God made that day to be unusually hot, so that Avram Avinu, who was his entire life busy, welcoming guests, serving guests, looking after guests, talking to the guest, educating the guest, so he was busy with them, he didn't have time to rest. So God made the day to be unusually, unnaturally hot, so that Avram Avinu should have some rest. I guess air conditioning was not necessary. He was used to heat. But then the pasuk says, he was sitting outside. Why was he sitting outside? Because Avram Avinu was anguished. He was upset. Why was he upset? There's nobody there to help. There's nobody there to feed. There's nobody that needs help. And this bothered him. He felt the need of doing good. So what did God do? He did another miracle. The miracle was what? That suddenly three people, angels, appeared in the form of humans. I guess humans couldn't go because it was so hot. So God had to do an unusual, miraculous experience where three angels came dressed as human beings, and Avram Avinu was able to feed them. And then the rest of the story is who those three angels were. We'll leave it for some other time. But what happened over here? God's plan went wrong. God made it specifically extremely hot so as to give Avram Avinu time to rest. It didn't work out. Chas v'shalom, to think that God's original plan didn't work out, and then he had to do an additional miracle to create humans out of angels. So it seems like that very unusual heat caused in Avram Avinu some anguish. What does that mean? So the answer is, says the Rebbe in one word, in those three words, Vayero Elav Hashem. God revealed himself to him. Something happened within Avram Avinu by the sheer fact that God revealed himself to him. And the Rebbe explains as follows. Avram Avinu, kindness, giving, sharing. But when? When there was a need. There is no need. There is nobody there that is in need. He does what he needs. He's busy with whatever he's busy with. His need to be kind was present, was aroused when there was a need. So the needy is who aroused in Avram Avinu that midas hachesed, that attribute of kindness. But now when our God revealed himself to him, Avram Avinu reached a higher plateau of kindness. That he wasn't waiting for the need to present itself and ask for help, but he needed to do kindness. Why? Because just like God is always kind, just like God doesn't wait for it to be requested, to be asked, and that's when he gives, God's kindness is infinite. So Avraham Avinu with him here also was now revealed a deeper level of his chesed, that even when there is no one who is in need, but I still need to do the mitzvah. I still need to do kindness because that's God's way. This is what happened. Vayero Elav Hashem. God revealed in Kechoy Mayom that this heat of the day created an anguish, a desire, a deeper level of kindness within Avraham. This is all part. Lech Lecha, his journey to the land I will show you, the Beis Hamikdash.